Hello out there. Yeah, the bailout. I'm back about the bailout. This is the American taxpayer review here. American taxpayer speaks out, okay, about the great Wall Street robbery, which I still can't even believe it's still going on, actually, because anyway, my topic today is about this report that that came out of Bloomberg. This is the report. This is where you can find it. Bloomberg.com. It's November 10th, Bloomberg. Federal Reserve is refusing to identify the recipients of almost $2 trillion of emergency loans from American taxpayers or the troubled assets the central bank is accepting as collateral. Fed Chairman Bernanke and Treasury Secretary Harry Paulson said in September they would comply with congressional demands for transparency in the $700 billion bailout of the banking system. 2 months later, as the feds lend more than that in separate rescue programs that didn't require approval by Congress, Americans have no idea where their money is going or what securities the banks are pledging in return. Okay. Gets even better. Bloomberg News has requested details of the Fed lending under the U.S. Freedom of Information Act and has filed a federal lawsuit on November 7th seeking to force disclosure because they're just not saying anything. It gets me all worked up. I just read this. I can't even believe what's going on. I thought we had already determined that there needed to be some transparency and some understanding of what was going on. But no. Okay, Treasury, Fed, and Obama. I guess this is a question for them. Federal Reserve spokesman Michelle Smith declined to comment on the loans or the Bloomberg lawsuit. That was the Fed's. The Treasury spokeswoman, Michelle Davis, didn't respond to a phone call or an email seeking comment. President-elect I know Obama. You're not the president right now, but maybe you can do some in-house investigation as to what's happening here with the money before they go spending it all and loaning it to the people who brought us here in the first place. President-elect Obama's economic advisor, Jason Furman, also didn't respond to an email. Not a good sign. You would hope that he would, at least release something. We'd like something as the taxpayers. In a September 22nd campaign speech, Obama promised to make our government open and transparent so that anyone can ensure that our business is the people's business. The Fed's lending is significant because the central bank has stepped into a rescue role that was also the purpose of the $700 billion Troubled Asset Relief Program, or TARP, bailout program, without safeguards put into TARP legislation by Congress. Total Fed lending topped $2 trillion for the first time last week and has risen by 140%. Without safeguards put in place into the TARP legislation 7 weeks since Fed governors relaxed the collateral on September 14th. But get this. Before September 14th, the Fed accepted mostly, okay, this is before this all came, before the economy officially crashed, before the Wall Street robbery became officially known. This was before September 14th, the Fed accepted mostly top-rated government and asset-backed securities as collateral. After that date, central bank widened its standards to accept other kinds of securities, some with lower ratings. The Fed collects interest on all its loans. Check this out. The measure also included a 5-member oversight board that includes Paulson and Bernanke. There is just such a huge conflict of interest. I don't understand why there isn't some sort of academic or taxpayer professional committee working with the government. I think it's time for people. I mean, there's nobody looking out for us at this point. I feel like Congress is totally slacked on this situation. We don't have transparency. They continue to give out money with no restrictions. Okay, check this out, though. Check it out. The Fed lent cash and government bonds to banks, which gave the Fed collateral. This is what really gets me. Gave the Feds collateral in the form of equities and debt. including subprime and structured securities, such as collateralized debt obligations, according to the federal website. The borrowers have included the now bankrupt Lehman Brothers Holding Company, Citigroup, and JP Morgan Chase and Company. Okay, so we gave them money and they gave us back those insidious, problematic security items that these financial institutions created, knowing that at some point they would fail. They gave that to us as collateral. Are we losing our mind? We are giving them money and we're allowing them to give us junk. They have no value. The whole global economic financial system has crashed because of the leveraging with these securities that were overrated to begin with, that were created knowing that eventually if there was a problem, it would be a huge problem. Now, today they came out and they said, oh no, we're not going to give you any more junk. We're not going to give you any more of those toxic assets. Now we're going to try to work with the subprime mortgage situation and try to help the consumer. And people have gone under, so like Lehman Brothers Holding Company went under, so forget that we gave them money at some point before this whole economic mess. They're done, so we've lost that money, right? I can't even believe what's going on. I can't even believe it. And now they're going to try to maybe do something, but then we got the hedge funds who are saying, hey, if you change the rules or regulations around what we're leveraging to make our money, because we're betting that all these are losing, so because we're betting that these securities are going to fail, you're going to affect how much money we make, because the higher the risk, the more money we make. So if you fix these, then we have nothing to play with really anymore. We have nothing to leverage. They'll be secure. We can't make money that way. They're going up, I think, on the 13th or the 14th. There's a few billionaires. I think there's 4 of them going up. Hedge fund people are going up to Congress to see if they can explain to our government what is going on, what is happening. I'm amazed. I feel like at this point anybody could be in office, because it just seems like nobody really understands what's going on, and if they do, they're unwilling to really talk about it or bring the truth forth so we can get on with this business. Anyway, oh, and my other friend, Frank, Mr. Bonnie Frank, who, you know, I already have my issues with because he took the federal protection for transgendered people off of the legislation that passed a while ago this year. And thanks a lot, Mr. Frank. Different issue, different show. But he's in Newton. I'm sure there is somebody in Newton that could run for office and maybe help the situation here, because I've had it with him not knowing what's going on and backing the people because he doesn't know what's going on. You have to balance the need for transparency with protecting the public interest. Protecting the public interest, Talbot said. Taxpayers have a right to know where their tax dollars are going, but one piece of information standing alone could undermine public confidence in the system. I would say at this point, there is zero confidence in the market. Zero. Ridiculous, ridiculous, ridiculous.